When looking for the king of podcasts, you're at the wrong channel.
Well, excuse me!
Looking for good ideas for life? You're far from good hands.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
If you think the listener is always right, you're far from the right place.
Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works!
Hosted by a Northeasterner by birth, but a rebel by choice.
Are you threatening me?
If you want a host that floats between love and madness,
and we know the night is always gonna be here anyway. Thinking of you's working up my appetite, looking forward to a little afternoon delight.
then play on and listen to Crazy Train Radio.
All right, guys, listen to this blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try and keep up, okay?
Within the gaming world, there are your general gamers, but then there are those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming. If you're one of those that enjoy the dark underbelly of gaming, we certainly got the place to send you. Scorpion Lair Games. That's right, Scorpion Lair Games is the creators of the true crime hit Killers, the card game. Let's not forget they also have Killers Clothing Company, the profiler game, and things like the 5-Minute Murder channel on YouTube. And we certainly can't forget the new book that is certainly a hit, Beyond the Headliners, True Crimes, Myths, and Legends. Make sure you visit Jeff and the Scorpion Lair Games on Facebook and everywhere today.
Hey guys, my name is Guile, Branco, director of A Halloween Feast, and listen to Crazy Train Radio. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
Hey folks, it's your least favorite host in the podcast world, Croc, Jonathan Steele. And boy, do we have a good one for you today.
Boy, folks, are we getting going early. We've been all over the place, booked the territory, all that fun stuff, booked a couple interviews, few movie projects, budgeting, all that fun stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have not one, but two guests tonight that we are having during this taping. I had a brain fart there. Luckily, it wasn't a stroke. But the project we are going to be talking about is A Halloween Feast. And our director and actor of the film actually has a little poster behind him. I guess that would be 11 by 17. No, that'd be a little bigger.
It's big. Yeah.
Yes. Don't get me trying to do math, folks. But we have Mr. Guile Branco, who is the director, and he was an actor in the film, and he brought company with him, who is a lot better than the rest of us, I'm sure. Miss Julia Coulter. Good evening, folks. How are we?
Hello.
Fantastic.
Good.
Yes. And in the words of Gary Del Bate, hello.
Well, hello there!
But All right. So I guess first and foremost, and whoever wants to jump on this first, what do we think of the final product of said film that I mentioned there?
Julia, you
Oh,
start.
oh gosh. I mean, I feel like that is more of a question for Gil, but I having like experienced the set, like talking about it for as long as Gil and I were for like months, years potentially before we actually filmed it. I do like it felt like such fun chaos, but I was also like, I'm not sure what we made here in like the best way of just how is this all gonna look? I mean, even just like the special effects and all that practical stuff alone, like is it when you're doing it, it feels so like gimmicky and yet it looks very cool. And yeah, I remember the first time I saw it was actually I didn't go to, I think I was invited to, but didn't go to the like first sort of viewing where you asked for notes and all that. Um, and instead saw it at AFM screening, which was cool to see like it on a big screen and that be my first experience with it and with an audience. And yeah, I just was like delighted at I just felt like it was so well paced and like you kind of never it doesn't lose momentum. It like always is throwing something fun and interesting and crazy at you. And yeah, I was very happy with how fun it was.
And by
So,
the way, before Gil answers that,
yes, sure.
she has what Miss Julia has won me over just by using the term gimmick in a
Oh,
different way because
okay.
because most of the time when I talk to people and I mention the word gimmick are usually wrestling fans. So for someone to use it in a different context in a different form, uh, I'm won over. But
Yay. Well, good.
yeah, not many people understand the Yiddish term of gimmick and all that, but so that's a whole nother deal. Gil, your
Yes.
thoughts with things?
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. As a director, as a writer, okay, what happens very often is, especially with independent filmmakers, is we don't have a lot of chance to redo something that is not good because you're dealing with a budget constraint and you're dealing with a schedule constraint. So if you shoot something and it's not very good, you probably will have to just live with it. So, so I know a lot of independent filmmakers, and I think it's kind of common that the final product is not as good as what they imagine in their heads. That's actually normal, and that's okay because, us as creators, we imagine things in our head, and we kind of like, oh, I want to have these shots, and I want it to look like a Stanley Kubrick film. It normally doesn't work. I think I came in as a realist to this film. I feel like I knew that probably it wouldn't look like The Shining, but in my very full honesty, I can tell you that first of all, kudos to our editor Ryan Kelly. He's in New Jersey. To Julia says about the pacing and about the how the film came together. Sure, we're all part of a team. So if you have, we shot the hell out of it. If our editor hadn't put together the way he did, I actually have to credit him a lot into getting the scenes together and sometimes changing the screenplay, the order on the screenplay to something that was more entertaining. He was very good. And, I'm going to say something that probably a lot of independent filmmakers don't say. The film actually came out better than I thought it would. And that is rare. I mean, that doesn't happen. When we, and I'm going to tell you something. When I saw the kind of, not the final cut, but like a rough cut of the film, when it was almost ready, I was in tears because I thought, oh my God, this is coming out better than I imagined was possible.
Mhm.
Um, And I'm not
Was that
saying
budgetary reasons or concept
no.
reasons? Why did that fall
Kind
that way?
of. I
I
would
think
imagine kind of. But
Yeah, because I think that, we had very limited resources. So when you see something coming together and kind of working, I mean, sure, I'm not saying the movie is like something that compares to some of the great. What I'm saying is for myself as an independent filmmaker with a limited budget and resources. When I looked at the film, I was just like, we have a film. Just the fact that you can look at it and say, I have a film. It's a concise, Ryan put it together. Not only he edited, but he colorized the film, and then we had, all the elements coming together. What I mean is the sound design, which is very important, and our music composer who created the score. I mean, for me, it was almost like a Nirvana moment of just like, oh my God, we did it. So I'm very proud of the film. Even even with all the problems that he has, and it's impossible to make something perfect. It's impossible. But as at its imperfections, I just love the way it is. And people often ask me, how many times have you seen your movie? Are you sick of seeing your movie? My answer is no. I still enjoy watching it. I'm bored sometimes. I put it on Tubi and I have fun with it. And I remember moments from filming and I have a good time with my film. And that's my honest answer. Thank you for the question.
yeah.
Oh, obviously. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I first learned about you guys and the movie thanks to Aaron at A&B Horror Movies,
Yep.
which he's a mensch. I don't know if he's Jewish or not, but he's a mensch. But, I want to bring this up as well. You guys have an event in October in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yep.
What is this event?
Okay, so first of all, Aaron is A&B Movies. He's a great supporter and he's a good friend at this point. He saw the film, he loved the film. We did a couple of interviews with him. We even had Lynn Lowry, our star, in the first interview we did with him. So he's a great guy, and I thank him. So, he
His check's
lives.
also cash, by the way. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. So Aaron, he lives near Salem,
Yes.
and he is actually the one who suggested we do a screening in Salem. So that's his fault. And
Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna love that.
oh, absolutely. I'm loving it because I've always wanted to go to Salem. And I talk to people who are into horror, and everybody tells me, "Oh my God, it's in my bucket list." Everybody is just really everybody wants to go to Salem. And so it became this thing, we booked the theater, which is Cinema Salem. Our showing there is October 9th at 7 p.m. We have, Julie is coming, I'm coming. We have James Griggs, who played Richard, is coming. Lou D'Amato, who is great as Dr. Park, and also a co-producer with me. He's coming. So we're going to have a little group of people coming. And I think our editor, Ryan, is also coming. So we're going to have a nice reunion. And I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I'm just happy to be there. And it's an opportunity to talk about the film, to meet some fans, to have a vacation, and just get to know Salem. And I'm sure Julie is also excited, right?
Yes, I am excited. Yeah. I'm
Well,
excited to see it, on the big screen again. It's been a minute
Yeah.
since I've seen it.
well,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back to the film and other things in a minute, but I gotta ask Julia because from what I read, and we know everything on the internet is true.
Okay.
Apparently, you were born in Boston, but lived
Yes.
in Vermont for a time period, but now you're based in New York. So, have you ever been to Salem?
I have, but it's been a really long time. So I was born in Boston. I lived in Framingham, Massachusetts for like the first 3 years of my life. So I don't really remember a whole lot, but I have family there. And I have, but it was probably when I was like 9 or 10. Um, but I do have memories of going to the witch trial museum, and I'm sure it looks exactly the same and is very like dingy now, but my 9-year-old self was very, very afraid of all of the horrible things they did to all those people. But yeah, I haven't gone during, Halloween or during the holiday, and I've heard that it's just wild. So I'm very excited to revisit.
Awesome.
Yeah, everybody says that it's wild there, and it's like Mardi Gras, but Halloween Mardi Gras. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, well, you mentioned when I asked about the final product of the film, because I know I kind of went ass backwards starting things, but you mentioned the running gun aspect of independent filmmaking. And when I say that, because like you mentioned, there's the budgetary issues, there's this, there's that. It's not like you're working on a Marvel film per se. But
Hmm.
the one thing that stood out for me, and because I've listened to a couple of different aspects doing some homework here, you mentioned about a famous, or somebody asked about a bus scene on Aaron's show, the live you guys did last week.
Oh yeah.
So if that doesn't speak running gun, because that was shot on an iPhone, if you feel like telling this story, that'd be great. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that says it all about.
Absolutely. So, Julia, you were there when we left, right? Were you
I was
there?
there when you guys left. So we did
Yeah.
I think it was the same night that we did the scene where I like cut the engine piece off of the car. And then I remember leaving and you guys being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go find a bus to film on." And I was like,
That's
"Sure."
you
Good
know that,
luck.
that's independent filmmaking, guys. Because honestly, okay, here's the thing. Um, Obviously, we didn't have money to rent a bus, you know, and also I was very afraid because you go into a public bus, there's a sign that says, if you're caught filming or whatever, it's a I don't know, $15,000 fine.
Yeah.
So I was really worried, and our camera guy, he was like, we were shooting on the red cameras, the big, so he was like, "Oh, just take it in and film it." I'm like, "No, no, no," and our focus puller, we have the camera and the focus puller. He said, "I have a great iPhone. Let's do it." And I'm like, "All right," and I was still pretty worried about it. I remember, in the writing process, I had the scene on the screenplay, and I think many times I thought maybe I should think of something else, because how am I going to film a scene in a bus? I mean, we don't have that sort of like money, or it just, I was just really afraid. So we left that scene towards the end, and we just decided to be bold. What I mean is, we just kind of, okay, we're gonna take the actors, we're gonna go to a bus stop, okay, and if the bus was full of people, we probably wouldn't do it. We would wait until we got into an empty bus. So I didn't know what will happen. I mean, is it going to be take all night? I mean, we didn't know. Are we going to be caught? Is the driver going to yell at us, or people are going to. So it was kind of like a wild idea of like, we just don't know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But the good news is everybody was game. Everybody was like, "All right, we're gonna go to the bus stop. We're gonna do it." Nobody was like, "Oh my God, no, no, no." We were just like on a mission. So I had the schedule of the bus. Um, what we did was we had the camera guy uh, get into the bus one stop further. So he would prepare inside the bus the framing, uh, and he could also film the actors walking inside the bus.
Mm.
We were very lucky that the bus that came at the time to film was empty. There was maybe 4 people in there. It was perfect, and you know, everything just worked. It was a one take wonder. I mean, our guy was there filming with an iPhone, trying to be subtle, you know. Actors got in, which is Pancho Moeller, Raja Deka, and Dustin Jean, who played the gangsters, and it's just hilarious. I mean, it worked, and for some people, it's one of the funniest scenes in the film because it's just like complete madness. The whole film is complete madness, but that just adds to the madness because it's like, okay, so Karen, who Julia plays, she sabotaged the cars of these gangsters. So these gangsters are going to try to kill somebody on a bus.
But they
They're
have to
taking,
get on the bus first.
yeah,
The
yeah.
way
So
that Ryan cut that too,
yes,
the
so
back and forth is just adds to the sort of comedy
yes,
build
so
chaos.
you have these gangsters on a bus stop, you know what I mean? And Pancho is a stand-up comedian. He just improvised a lot of lines, and he's like, "How long do I wait here?" And I was just like, "I don't know." Like he's never taken a bus before in his life, and he's taking a bus to try to kill somebody. But anyways, that's it, my friend. I mean, we didn't know it would come out as good. Also, just to add, I was worried about the quality because we're filming with, 4K red cameras, and now we're going to have an iPhone. And, I mean, sure, if you pay attention closely, you see that the quality is not up to par. But if you're into the story and you're just enjoying the film, I
You're
mean,
not paying attention to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
the pixels are the least thing that people are going to think about. So that worked amazingly well. That's it.
Now, during this project, and I'm sorry for bouncing all over the place, but both of you have writing backgrounds. So were you two both looking at the script and making changes, or how was there a writing component to things between the two of you?
Well,
Not totally, but you reminded me of that scene
at
the
the
other
end.
day, which I kind of forgot that I had like given notes
Yes, yes,
on it.
I'll tell you what happened. So, I mean, for the overall screenplay, I'm a big believer in having a finished screenplay and really following the screenplay. I really believe that, you spend years crafting a screenplay. You really try to get what you wrote because you're crafting those scenes very carefully. However, I'm always very open to improvisation and just things that come up naturally that like maybe will enhance the story. Julia, she's talking about a very specific scene where, okay, there is a scene that on the screenplay, it was basically just a establishing shot. It was so basically Julia and I, Karen and Mark, we're walking towards Goth Girl, which is iconic character. We're walking to her house, and so I paid for that house. Okay, so we had 6
That was an
hours.
Airbnb, correct?
The main house was an Airbnb. We spent 12 days there. That's the family house. What I'm saying is, I rented a house, a creepy house, just to use the exterior for 6 hours. And I remember thinking, well, on the screenplay, it's just basically us walking in there. And then I'm like, we're gonna have the camera, the sound. Why don't we write an intro scene as we walk into the house? So literally the day before we filmed, I mean, because there was no dialogue, nothing. It was just an establishing shot. You establishing the house. That's it. So I wrote something, a page of a conversation between Mark and Karen. I sent it to Julia and I said, Julia, would you rewrite this? You're a writer, we're all writers. And she did. And her version is what is in that scene.
And like most women, she probably made it a lot better, right?
A lot better. And
I don't know.
but she forgot about it.
I did forget about it.
That's very upsetting. Just kidding.
Sorry. Sorry.
Wow.
It was
Yeah,
a
we're
beautiful-
stiff tonight, folks.
It was a beautiful collaboration,
Absolutely.
I was getting more sleep during that time too. Now I'm really embarrassed.
I've heard rumors on this,
hmm
because actors usually have time for breaks and stuff, and Gil, being the mastermind behind a lot of things, was 6 degrees from everything, and from driving a truck to directing to rewrites. So, how
So
did you
much.
stay sane with all that going on, Gil?
how did I stay sane? Well, uh, I guess, I'm a very like realistic, and I mean, okay, I'm a very optimistic person. I think that's optimism, by the way. Um, I was talking to a friend today, and I said, you cannot be a pessimist and make a movie. I mean, a low budget film. You have to be very optimistic to actually go like, all right, I'm gonna make a movie. Okay. So I think that I didn't really struggle with mental health. I felt like, once we decided we're gonna film this movie, I was just like, yeah, let's do it. I'm positive. I'm even though I'm, dying of exhaustion. I mean, pretty much. I was just very optimistic to the end. You have to be, because you have adversity. You have, obviously certain things don't come out exactly what you want. And like I said earlier today, is you have to just sometimes accept that you don't have, better lighting or better scenery sometimes, or maybe the costume designer is not very good or whatever it is. I mean, you just have to kind of accept things and just be optimistic and hope that in the end this will turn out to be uh, a finished film. And so I was fine. Okay, brain was fine.
That's so
Just
beautiful.
sleepy.
All right, so I just want to give a little, background here, folks. So who are listening to this? Obviously, you two know what I'm probably going to say about backgrounds, but as I did an intro, Julia, based in New York, but she's an actor, director, writer. She's worked on behind the scenes of things from Netflix and Amazon and all that stuff, and Gil is truly living the American dream because he started off in Brazil, came up at like 18. Why the hell would you give up law school, by the way? But no, he came to the States wanting to be an actor and has been involved with many different things. So, what is this like to be able to be a part of a project like this for both of you? Because it having such unique backgrounds.
Julia.
Um, no, I mean, I feel like when Gil asked me to be in this film, it was very much like, of course. Like I was like, yeah, let's make a film. That sounds awesome. And I think there's always like a little bit of not hesitation, but like disbelief, especially in LA, no offense to the people of LA, that people are actually going to do what they say they're going to do. But knowing Gil as a person and as a friend of mine, I knew that I was like, okay, this is gonna happen. Like, great. And I, at the time, was in like very, very pre-production for my first feature. And so on top of just being like, oh, I can act and like be the lead of this film and this is gonna be so fun and like experience this, I also wanted to see how it all worked and just be able to kind of take notes somewhat of how to make something for this low budget and the amount of meetings that Gil and I had just like beforehand of just you would just tell me about like, well, this week this is what happened and I feel like now having gone through the process for my feature, I'm like, oh, that is really what it's like. It's like, well, this week I reached out to 20 people who might help out and we don't know yet. So just seeing and being able to like be a part of that, but not, kind of be a part of the fun part of it and do the acting part of it was just a gift and like it was really fun and
And
the
and
environment he
and
created
before we
was
continue,
great.
let's take a minute so Julia can explain that she's just finished filming a beautiful movie and it's finishing post-production. And it's, I mean, we can go back to Halloween Feast very soon, but Julia,
Please.
tell me
No,
about the
I
film.
mean, yeah, so we're the movie is finished. We're cleaning up we're doing the sound mix right now. I was just in New York actually. I do live slightly outside of New York, don't tell anyone.
No.
But but I was in like Brooklyn to help wrap up some of the sound mix stuff. But yeah, and it's hopefully hitting the festival circuit next year, but it's not a horror film. It's a very like drama serious film. Um about a woman with a congenital heart defect who, after the sudden death of her dad, decides to train to ride the L'Étape du Tour, which is a stage ride of the Tour de France, which is like basically one day of the Tour de France. It's an actual ride opened for the public, competitive riders. So yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully,
And
it'll be
and
seen
what
soon.
what is the title of that before I ask my question?
Road to L'Étape du Tour, and L'Étape is L apostrophe capital Etape.
And just for clarification, and I'm sorry if this comes out like a smartass,
No.
but when you're cleaning things up like that, it wasn't with soap and deodorant and different things that we did, right?
Yes.
We were cleaning up digitally, correct?
Cleaning up digitally, yes.
I
Yeah.
respect. I need to squeeze in a couple of smartass. Yeah, that's my personality. So
Fair enough.
yeah, no, but I did read about that project. I hope it is doing well,
Thank you.
and going to do well.
Will do well. Yes, hopefully.
We're projecting wellness to this
Good things.
Yes. Where were we going? Oh yeah, Gil, you were going to say something before we threw to Julia.
Yes. Okay. So Julia mentioned that, it's very rare that we see somebody who actually finishes a film. And it's true. That's what I'm saying. There's even myself, I have some skepticism when, because I'm primarily an actor, so I'm acting in other people's films. And many times you don't see the final product. I mean, really, that's something crazy. I used to live in New York as well. I lived in New York for 5 years, long time ago, 15 years ago-ish. And, I was very involved, even in New York, with independent film. But I'm going to say that in my 5 years in New York, I was maybe working in about 4 independent films a year. So we're talking about maybe 20 films in New York. And I believe only one feature film went to a film festival, and it was a real small one. And I'm going to say that out of all of those films, I maybe saw 4. So the odds are, just by this observation, it's kind of crazy. I moved to LA. I feel like in Los Angeles, the odds are a little higher. I feel like, when I participate in people's movies, I feel like I normally end up seeing a result, and I became more picky. Now I'll look into who's making the film, and then obviously see a track record when it comes to independent film. But that's true. So I understand when people say like there's a reluctance in like, oh my God, I'm gonna give, especially when you don't have a lot of money to pay the actors. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna donate this much time.
Yeah.
And what if I never see the film? So it's a little bit of a gamble in a way. I think it does help that Julia and I are friends for, is that 25 years?
25. Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
How's that possible when she's 22? But
No, about 8. I'm gonna say 8
About
years,
8, I think. Yeah.
about 8 years. So, we've, like, I feel like I'm very much very driven to make sure things are done. Okay, I produced theater. I put an off-Broadway play in New York when I lived there. I always had this thing of like, okay, let's do this.
There's a certain hustle to it too, as well.
Yes, but Halloween Feast is my first feature film. So prior to that, I did some short films. I didn't direct. Most of the short films were directed by my good friend Gui Pereira. He's also from Brazil, very talented. So we were kind of a little bit of a team. But myself as an actor, I don't, my experience in directing is mostly by observing the directors directing. So I wanted to make sure I didn't do bad things. Okay. So I hired the best assistant director I could find, and her name is Genevieve Cortez, and she was my assistant director. She's a director. Really amazing. She was everything to us. I mean, she was my clock. She would tell me no if we were gonna film something and she felt that we didn't have time or it wouldn't work, she would say it. We never had one fight. We always had a very good partnership. So I was really taking steps to having a film, and I was determined to having a film, and I guess we do have a film. So.
Yeah. You know, to go a little sideways here, and it actually works here because I was sitting here thinking about it as we're talking.
Mhm.
Obviously, last week, and I'm not getting into all the nonsense and politics of it and all that shit, but obviously, most people are aware of the little hiccup that a certain network might have had with
Yeah.
a show and free speech and all that stuff. Like I said, that's not why we're here. But what I was thinking was, how do you guys feel with free speech and things like that as artists yourselves, whether it be writing, acting, etc., with the current climate that we are in?
I think artists should have freedom of, not only artists, but I think everyone needs to have freedom of expression. Um, you know, A Halloween Feast is a very inappropriate movie. And a lot of horror films are very inappropriate. Imagine if suddenly people say, "Well, you can't have this or that," or as an artist, I feel like we need to let our minds fly, and because we want to ultimately entertain people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can say I'm a big advocate for just free speech is very important. Yes.
Julia?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you put it
Yeah.
exactly what I would say. Same, yeah, completely like I think that's what's so beautiful about art is that, in any format, whether it's film or not, but I don't know, it's what makes the world interesting and also I think what is, you know, certain people are drawn to certain art and I think sometimes when something is expressed, it can make other people not feel alone that they maybe were feeling alone in a feeling or an opinion or whatever, and then they see someone express it in an art form and are like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one experiencing this.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And two, before I go back to Halloween Feast, I live by the George Carlin rule. If there's something you don't like, change the channel.
Yes.
There you go. All right. So Halloween Feast. You mentioned her name earlier, Gil, and Lynn Lowry. And what was it like to have somebody like with that much experience come onto your project?
So it was very clear to us since the very beginning that we needed to have a name actor in the film. And I tell filmmakers now because I really feel like not only she's amazing, okay, Lynn Lowry as a person and as an actress, I mean, she's incredible in every sense. I mean, we didn't know what to expect, but going back a little bit into the early, I guess when we were planning the film, I remember, a good friend of mine saying, this is great. I love the screenplay, but, you need to get somebody to help sell the film and a name, and I was just like, a lot of independent filmmakers, they go, well, I have a great screenplay. It's going to work. It could work. Trust me. You can have a great low budget film with great actors and it could work. But guess what? You will increase your chances of success if you add somebody that the audience knows. And Lynn Lowry has a fan base. she worked with George Romero and David Cronenberg in the 70s. She has a body of work of, I don't
There's
know,
a certain credibility there with that.
a lot of credibility. So I got in touch with her, and she loved the script. I actually didn't know she would say yes. I sent her the screenplay, and I gave her two options. I said, obviously, the first option is, you are the lead, Angela, the matriarch of the film. But, we don't have much money to pay you, number one, and it's a 3-week commitment. So I really thought she would say no because it's a 3 weeks commitment for very little money.
Mhm.
So I wrote a 1-day scene because I felt like maybe she's just wants to do a cameo, because she does a lot of cameos. She's
Yeah.
somebody who a lot of filmmakers gather for a few days to get something very small to add value to the film. To my surprise, she got back to me and she wanted Angela. Like she said, that's my role. That's I want to be Angela no matter what. And she was so in love with that character that I was like, oh my God. I mean, you're willing to commit for 3 weeks for this much money? I'm not going to say how much it is because let's keep
No,
it
no,
private.
that's not our department.
But let me tell you something. It wasn't much, okay? I would say people would make more money in 3 weeks doing many other things. But anyways, she said yes, and once she said yes, I was thrilled. At the same time, that we didn't really have full funding yet. So it was a little nerve-wracking because I was trying to do a crowdfunding at the same time that I'm trying to convince friends to invest. And she said yes, so I'm committed. I already bought her plane tickets.
Mhm.
So I was a little bit stressed out for a while, thinking, I hope
Understandable.
it'll come together. I'm crossing my fingers. And then everything was fine. She came. And then again, okay, another thing I'm going to say about Halloween Feast is that most of the cast, they're all friends of mine. Like I did the Anora, which means that I didn't have a casting director. I basically, I've known Julia for 8 years. Nika, who plays the fiance, I've known her for probably 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Lou D'Amato, who's my business partner, and he plays Dr. Park. I've known him for 20 years. We met in 2005 in a New York movie that was never finished. Going back to the films that never get finished. Well, that's how I met Lou D'Amato. We were on a set of this crazy film. This insane director wanted to film a feature film in 7 days, and it was never finished. But we met, and we've become good friends for 20 years. And he is our brilliant Dr. Park in the script, who's also known as Bond Man. You would know why, Bond Man is,
Little
anyway.
teaser there, folks.
Yeah, any teaser. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, most of the cast, I know my cast are my friends. They're people I've known for many times, for many years. So Lynn Lowry was, I didn't know, like, oh my God, I hope it goes well, and it couldn't have gone better. I mean, honestly, she arrived and Lou picked her up from the airport, and she was just a delight. She had memorized everything. She was just a wonderful person. Everything just worked like a charm. It really did. So Lynn Lowry, not only that, I mean, her fans really helped a Halloween Feast grow. They spread the word. They post online. Lynn, she's promoting the movie a lot. So it's just I'm incredibly thankful that she said yes, and I'm incredibly thankful to her fans that are helping us, and some people saying that this is one of her best movies. So I may have done something right.
There you go. I hope to be able to talk to Lynn at some point in a
Yes.
conversation like this. Let cross fingers. Now, I got two more questions. I don't want to take your whole night away from you guys. But when you had asked me, Gil, when we first jumped on before we hit the record button about the production company being based in the Philly area. But what I was reading online, because like I said earlier to Julia, I know everything online is 100% accurate,
Mhm.
but was it their suggestion to change the name of the project?
Very good question. Well, hold on. So the original name of the film was A Prodigal Feast. Okay, A Prodigal Feast. And I love that title. By the way, I think it's great. I think it has a ring to it. I love the word prodigal. We actually filmed the movie under A Prodigal Feast, and we went even to festivals as A Prodigal Feast. Well, we got our distributor, Breaking Glass Pictures, who they are fantastic, and they took the film, the worldwide rights for the film. And, we're negotiating and talking about the film, and they're very excited. And they actually told me, what do you think about changing the title? And at first, I was not willing to. And to their
It was your baby, you know?
yeah, yeah, but to their credit, I'll say they told me if you don't want to change it, you can keep it. They didn't say we must change the title. No, they were like, if you want to keep A Prodigal Feast, we keep it. So I told him, give me some time, give me a week, and Lou D'Amato and I, we just started talking about it, and coming up with different titles in our heads. And Rich, who is the owner of Breaking Glass, he suggested A Bloody Feast. We almost went with A Bloody Feast, almost. Um, it was actually Lou D'Amato's idea. One day Lou came to me and he said, I can't really think of anything but a Halloween feast. And when he said it, because he didn't have faith in it, he just kind of went like, I don't know about it, Halloween feast. But then when he said it, I thought, you know, I mean, the movie A Halloween Feast moves towards Halloween, and basically the climax of the movie is Halloween night.
A Halloween feast.
Exactly. It's exactly that. So I'm giving the audience like what it is. And sometimes, it's just good to give the audience what they're gonna get. I believe that, in a way. Uh, um, and the name prodigal, a lot of people don't know what it means. A lot of people they get confused and go, Prodigal, what is that? And also prodigal gives a little bit of a clue on the biggest twist of the film at the end, which I'm not gonna say, but the prodigal son that comes back, okay, you figure it out, watch the film. But basically, removing prodigal in adding a Halloween feast, I think that we get the excitement of the Halloween. Like a lot of people, they love Halloween. Halloween is a very beloved holiday. So yes, also it's a commercial reason. I feel like a lot of people would watch it just because it says Halloween. I'm not saying that the movie's not better or worse because of it. I mean, but I feel like some people are so passionate about Halloween that they'll probably look at the listing and be like, "Oh, a Halloween feast! I need to see this." So I think that it would put the movie on the radar of more people, and I believe that to be true. I believe that's so I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Joy, do you have any thoughts on this whole title change? And yeah, because
No,
obviously, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, no. I mean, I remember you saying that like, oh, they talked to me about maybe changing the title. But I do think like I mean, the title of my film is half in French, so some people are coming for me at some point. But I think like similarly, you get attached to like, no, this is like a clever idea and like this word is like a clue. But I also, from a marketing perspective, like it's about Halloween. It's a Halloween movie. It's a horror comedy. And so you have people who just like watching fun Halloween movies, and if Halloween's in the title, maybe they're that much more likely to click on it. So why not?
Yeah,
Absolutely. All
absolutely.
right. So I'd like to mention the event in Salem again, but also if you guys may, what does try this in English? I swear I didn't have too much whiskey tonight, folks. No, I tease because Gil saw the bottle. No,
I
but
did.
yeah, he was a witness. Damn it, no. So, what does the rest of 2025 look like? I know Julia is in post production for her film, but so what does the rest of the year look like for us? But also, what are we looking at 2026 so far? I know that's a lot there, so
For the movie specifically, or just like our
anything.
careers?
What are we doing?
Okay.
What do we got besides finishing the film? What's the rest of the year look like, but going into next year as well?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm
Tell us.
gonna make you go,
Tell
Gil.
us. Well,
I love how she always passes the buck to get no.
No, you always pass it to me, so
I do.
I'll beat you.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, so I'm still, promoting the film. Halloween Feast is such a labor of love that it's for me, it's almost like a full-time job on top of everything else that I'm doing. I am constantly promoting the film on social media. I don't have anybody to do it for me, so I'm engaging with fans and people. So I'm very open to talking to anybody. So if anybody goes to the page, a Halloween Feast movie on Instagram, I'm there and I'm managing it. And you can come in and just pop in and ask me questions, and I'll probably answer unless I'm swamped. So a lot of my year, is at least until this Halloween is going to be, we have Salem, Massachusetts. Again, I'm going to say October 9th at 7 p.m. at Cinema Salem, which is a very iconic, famous theater in Salem. We'll be there at 7 p.m. We're going afterwards to have drinks at the Salem Tavern, Village Tavern. So it's going to be fun. So my life is a lot of right now. I guess my life is a lot of promoting Halloween Feast, but obviously I am writing my next film, which is a murder mystery with horror elements and supernatural elements that I'm hoping that I'll be able to film next year or as soon as I possibly can. And it's a murder mystery called Murder in the Dalles. Dalles is a town, Dalles, in Oregon, and it's a whodunit with lots of intrigue and a crazy supernatural ending. And so I'm writing a lot. So passing on to Julia.
And by the way, before Julia answers that,
go.
I will say, Gil, I am cheap labor. As long as I can eat and have a place to lay my head, I'm available for that movie.
I love it. Love
Let's
it.
go. Yeah, I mean, honestly, sort of similar. So I feel like I'm in that like pre everything happening phase right now where we do have a tiny bit of the sound mix that's still happening. I am probably going to be back out in LA to wrap up making the DCP file, which is like our fancy thing for the film. So if it does screen at whatever film festival we get into, it'll be in the right format and everything.
Just cross my fingers.
Yeah, and I'm
I'm also got my toes too here. So.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm in a little bit of like just keeping track of all the festivals that I want to submit to and making sure I'm making all those deadlines, etc. I also have a second feature that is written, but is, a somewhat of a work in progress as far as like edits and whatnot. But the hope is to, along with obviously promoting the movie, use next year as, hey, I've done this once. Let's get this next one off its feet, and aiming to film realistically probably in like 2028 in the spring. And that's like my second film is a dramedy, coming of age high school dramedy. Yeah. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. And then just auditioning and,
all the fun
everyday
stuff.
life.
So I'm going to say one more thing,
Please.
two more things. So first of all, if you're wondering, I'm drinking Diet Coke. Okay.
I have regular, so
Yeah, okay. There's no whiskey in it, unfortunately.
no, me
Uh,
neither.
Joke's
yeah.
on you guys. Let's
Oh,
go.
Keep your-
So
I
what
had
I'm
to
going
get
to
a
say.
little Halloweeny.
There you
That's
go.
right. That's right. So
Continue.
all I'm gonna say is very simple to finish this, is that, if you do see a Halloween feast, I'm telling people, please go on Letterboxd. Okay, Letterboxd is this platform where it's like a social IMDb, and it's been really helping people discover the film because people rate the movies, write reviews. Letterboxd, you can get on the phone, or it's really great, and it's helping us, give an honest review. No horror film is ever a 5 star, trust me. So just go there and watch the film, write a little review. If you have stamina, go on IMDb as well, but no pressure. But it's something that's really, really helping us. So Letterboxd, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's throw this in there too, Gil.
Mhm.
If people wish to see Halloween Feast, if they haven't already, where can they go and see it?
All right, so you can watch it free. I'm telling you, this is my main thing. Go free on Tubi if you don't mind ads. There's ads, but the quality is great, the sound is great. So Tubi is fantastic, and you don't have to spend a dime. Now, if you hate ads, okay, you can get it on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Google Play, iTunes. You can get it for like $3. It's cheap, and there's no ads. Then you can just watch the whole thing without interruptions. So yeah, Tubi, Amazon Prime, Roku, Fossum, many places.
Gil, Julia, thank you so much for the time this evening, and
you.
good luck with the rest of the project or the promotion of the project. Hopefully, I will see you in Salem. Ryan, I know you're local.
Come.
Pick my ass up. No, no, but hopefully, I can see you guys in Salem. And good luck with everything else going on.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey folks, looking for the ultimate destination for the nerd enthusiasts and collectors? Well, we found the spot for you. Nerds Nest Collectibles is a haven for nerds, geeks, and fans alike, as they have many different products and certainly more to come. Make sure you go ahead and visit them at nerdsnestcollectibles.com. Check them out.
Hey, I'm Julia Coulter. I play Karen in A Halloween Feast, and you are listening to Crazy Train Radio.